Okay, you're at the Watchman Way. June 15th, 2020. Um, a brief overview on the Watchman Way. I was called by God in 2014 to be a watchman, to warn about the first ever worldwide economic collapse, the worldwide draining of the swamp, and the erratic exposure and eradication of satanic pedophiles. On top of that, God showed me physical silver and Litecoin as ways to protect us from the financial devastation that we're in the middle of right now. In January of 2020, God called me again, this time to lead the revival of his church that Jesus taught 2,000 years ago, called the Way. I believe the Way is the purest form of religion on earth. Very simple. You do the right thing every time. You tell the truth every time. You live your life in the service of others. You treat others with respect. There's no violence unless it's in self-defense. Our donations go from our hands directly into the hands of the needy. There's no buildings. There's no hierarchy. There's no priest. There's no pope. We're all equal. We don't meet in a church. We meet out in the streets or in our homes. We're building homes for the homeless. We're ending hunger. We're painting homes for the elderly that can't afford to do it themselves, doing yard work. The list is endless, but you get the point. So the Watchmen was a group that we started over a year ago. Well, maybe get close to 2 years now, to basically develop a group that was dedicated to warning others about these coming, especially economic dangers, but it was much worse than that when we started this. When I started this in 2014, looked like it could be really dangerous for the world, what was happening. Bottom line is, here we are, 2020. Everything that God showed me in 2014 is coming true this year, including the collapse of the Catholic Church. The Pope will resign this year. The church is going to collapse from the inside. It will be revealed that 50% of Catholic priests are pedophiles. And listen, I was raised Catholic. Was an altar boy. Went to parochial school. By the time I was 12, I saw that the Catholic Church was corrupt and evil, as well as elements in our government, like the deep state, the CIA. So that's the overview of who we are and what we have done to this point. We are in the process now of shifting gears from the warning, the watchman phase of our group, to the way phase. And we've said from the beginning as watchmen that, with our profits from physical silver and Litecoin, we would pay forward a portion of those profits. Well, in January, God informed me that those donations are to be considered as building the foundation of his church, the Way, just to bring more attention to what we're trying to do. Anyway, so that's the overview. I'm going to do this, I think, every day, take 5 minutes just to give everybody, especially the new people, kind of a brief description of what we're doing and have been doing for a while now. Next big issue is the 10 days of darkness getting ready to start? We've talked about this a couple of times recently. Well, actually over the past probably 2 months, because there's been rumored that there was going to be 10 days of darkness where there would be no internet, no TV, no radio, no texting, no phone calls. the only communication would be so that the mainstream media completely shut down, TV completely shut down. The only communication would be through the emergency broadcast system directly from POTUS to us, eliminating the mainstream for obvious reasons, because I think what he's going to be reporting on is some of the arrest and maybe some dispositions. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go, but what they don't want when this is going on, and the rumors are that there have been quite a few people already that have been arrested, and there's talk of many, many people being executed. And some of them, surprisingly, this early on, weren't real big names. A lot of people I saw on the list I didn't recognize offhand. They kind of described maybe what they did. I think there were some music producers, maybe some movie producers that, people that follow that stuff might know. But it wasn't people like, well, although Madonna was on the list, there were a lot of people that were, you wouldn't recognize. And that makes sense because we know now that and you can find this on the DOJ website, unsealed indictments in America, like 170,000 sealed indictments. It's 500,000 worldwide. A good portion of these people are going to be executed. I think a good portion of these people are going down for child sex trafficking and satanic pedophilia, which means basically the torture and murder of children. 800,000 kids a year go missing in America for the past several years. Don't hear a word from the mainstream media or politicians because, as you'll find out, they knew what was happening to these kids because a lot of them are going to hang for what they did to these kids. People like Don Lemon, Jake Tapper, Chris Cuomo, all been to Pedo Island, Jeffrey Epstein's island where they tortured and murdered children. Jeffrey Epstein ran a honeypot for the CIA and Mossad. Mossad is the Israeli version of the CIA. And basically, for the people that are new, a honeypot is where they attract influential people into the honeypot and then get them on video in compromising situations with kids, torturing and murdering children. Epstein had honeypots at his island, his mansion in New York City, his mansion in Florida, and his ranch in New Mexico. There are hundreds of hours of the most famous people in the world torturing and murdering children. We're in the final battle between good and evil. The Armageddon the Bible talks about, it's happening right now. It's going on right now. Most of it behind the scenes, a lot of stuff, military action going on underground, where most of these deep underground bases, many of you maybe are hearing about if you're just getting into your investigating everything that's been going on. You'll learn about deep underground bases. And they were used all over the country for child sex trade. There were thousands of kids that they rescued from these bases. Most of them had spent most of their lives in cages. It's horrific, just from start to finish. There's no upside to this story, except that it's coming to an end, finally. So anyway, getting back to the 10 Days of Darkness. I've been having phone trouble all day. I tried to make, 10 or 12 calls. I couldn't connect a single one. I've never had a problem here in Mesa. And then to come to find out that there are several phone companies that were reporting problems with the phone service. So are they going to use this as kind of a cover as to why this all happens, if it does happen? I said last week, I think, that I expected if we were going to have a 10 days of darkness, it would hit sometime between the 10th and the 20th. Because I think that the 4th of July is a big day. I think it's going to be a big celebration. I think that if that's the case, they would want to end the 10 days of darkness before the 1st of July, or at the latest the 1st of July, so that people would make the celebration on the 4th, be ready for the celebration on the 4th, and hopefully with some of the information that's coming out from POTUS during this 10 days, people are going to be ready for a party on the 4th of July. But the time frame has to fit, right? So we're at the 15th today. So I think sometime in the next 5 or 6 days, we may see it if it's going to happen. I don't know if it'll go much after that. I mean, I suppose they could go up to the 25th, I guess, maybe, and still get it in before the 4th. But I don't know if they're going to cut it that tight. We'll know here soon. Within the next week, I think we're going to know. Chinese scientists escorted out of Canadian biolab because she sent deadly viruses to Wuhan. The shipment wasn't related to the COVID-19. No, it was even more deadly, and there were many strains that she sent to Wuhan. I don't think there's too much heat on China right now. I wouldn't worry about whatever she sent, because China, at this point, if China did anything else, it would be over for them. They can't. It'd be too much pressure from the world, not just from America. Russia would be in on it too. I mean, we'd crush China financially if they tried anything else. I think they know it, and they're so weakened right now. It's a powder keg in China. Hong Kong's ready to blow up. Got problems with Taiwan. People in China have had enough. So China's walking a very fine line right now. If they were even to push, just chatter about some kind of military action against America, the people would revolt. I mean, God help if they start a war with America, because they're going to have more people fighting on our side than they're going to have the Chinese fighting on their side. The Chinese love President Trump. I mean, if in a heartbeat, if he shipped guns over here or to China, did airdrops, it'd be over for the Chinese government. And then send any kind of support at all. China knows they're in a precarious situation. So I don't expect anything dangerous. I mean, they might run their mouths. They might talk it up in the media. But that's just saving face, right? In front of their people. As far as a threat, China's a zero threat right now. It just kind of makes you wonder about Canada. Oh, and there's rumors that Trudeau's under house arrest. He's going to hang. Trudeau will hang. Not for this, but he's going to hang. He's another satanic pedophile. POTUS, if Bolton releases his book, he's broken the law. So Bolton is threatening to release a book, right, about his time in the administration, which of course he's a neocon. He's a globalist through and through. You know, President Trump knew this all, you know, the whole time he was there. I mean, that's, you know, keep your enemies close, right? He handled this situation brilliantly, you know. They thought they were going to control him by bringing guys like this in or convincing President Trump he should bring these guys in, and he worked them to the T. Just masterful. Here's the problem for Bolton. Any conversation he had with President Trump could rule top secret, confidential. Bolton really can't say a damn thing about any conversation he ever had with President Trump. So I don't expect much to come of the book. And, you know, by the time the book ever got to market, this whole circus is over anyway. I think the biggest part of this is going to be over before August. Here's a Zero Hedge headline. In the second blow to hydroxychloroquine, the FDA warns against combining it with remdesivir. Now that's the drug that they has not done well, I don't think, in testing. This is, I think, the one that's coming from a company that Gates owns, right? This is simple. Don't use it. Just use the hydroxychloroquine. You don't need this other garbage that, you know, listen, anything that Gates touched isn't getting near me. It's more hype in the headlines. More fear porn in the headlines. Yeah. Oh, here's more distraction from the deep state. You know things are going bad for them when all this crap is, you know, in the headlines. North Korea Army fully ready to enter the DMZ. They're going to throw the garbage in the trash. This is a headline. Really? North Korea? I talked about, you know, when people say the UN's coming to America, what a joke that would be. They got 1 million troops worldwide with no air force. They would get slaughtered on the beaches. Same thing would happen to North Korea. You know, they can barely feed their people. They're starving. If they cross the DMZ, they would defect to South Korea. They drop their guns and defect. Another joke. Absolutely ludicrous that North Korea is going to invade South Korea. It would be the end of North Korea. Not that the deep state would care, but, you know, the people who are, you know, Kim's sister, who I think is probably running, I think he's dead, and I think she might be running things now. Doesn't make any difference. Unless they have a death wish, what they don't, they're not going into South Korea. And, you know, if they do, it's not going to impact us. Nothing to fear, guys. All smoke and mirrors, all distractions, all trying to generate that fear that they need. Don't fall for it. Don't play into their hands. Oh boy, here's another one. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not there yet. Here's another headline. Stocks jump, dollar dumps as Fed non-news Trump's second wave virus fears. Well, that's because most people have figured out that it's just the flu. So nobody's worried about the second wave. The second wave of the flu? Okay, thanks for letting me know. It's a joke. And now the liberals are trying to drum up, oh, we're going to have another shutdown. Not going to happen. They had their shot, didn't work. They needed more people to die. And, you know, when I think there's 8 million cases worldwide in a planet of some people are 7.8 billion people now in the world. And 8 million? I mean, it's a blip. It's inconsequential. I mean, I'm sorry that people are dying, but people die every day. So I'm not going to let this instrument of the deep state, of the Illuminati, affect me. I'm not afraid of the virus. I'd walk right into any hotbed you want. Any healthy adult has nothing to fear. This is a joke. Tonic water and zinc, you're going to be fine. Don't go to the hospital. That's when you're going to die. It's a joke. It's a joke from the beginning. And it set up the ending perfectly for President Trump. I mean, my God. These people are, remember Q keeps saying, these people are stupid? They're stupid. Because they just gave him the biggest out he could ever ask for with the economy. Collapse away. Because it's all in the virus now. The virus came from China. Gates, the globalist, not from President Trump. President Trump didn't shut down the worldwide economy for 3 months. No, the globalists did. Who do you think is going to come back on? Not going to come back on President Trump. Yeah, they way screwed up this whole deal. The deep state, the globalist. And wasted their last bit of ammo. They got nothing left. Nothing left but the riots. And the riots, they cut the head off the snake. I think Soros is gone. If he's not dead, if he's not executed, he's locked up somewhere. And I think the same thing about Obama too, maybe. They're saying those last couple of videos they put out last week, all CGI. Here's one that kind of ticks me off. Proud to be an American? Question mark. Poll says not so much. Another headline. This is the same people on this poll that said Hillary was going to win in a landslide. Listen, patriotism in America, I don't think has ever been higher. And we're talking about a level where it's not just talk or rah-rah cheerleading like when we beat the Soviets in the Olympics. No, this is grab your guns. We're going to go kick some ass. That's the kind of patriotism we have today, which God help the rest of the world. Because the way they've got the patriots jacked up right now, the last thing in the world they want is to go head-to-head. You see it every time we go head-to-head with Antifa or BLM, they get the living shit kicked out of them. And if they want to pull guns out, we'll end this really quick. Jesus. Talk about a slaughter. How many of those million troops that we have under 50, battle-hardened troops, combat veterans, How many of them do you think are going to be on the side of Antifa or BLM? 1%, maybe, if that. And then the militias. Not to mention, forget about our armed forces. We don't need them. We don't need them. President Trump calls out the patriots. Antifa and BLM are crushed. They're running for the borders. A bigger slaughter than the UN if they show up. There's nothing to fear, guys. The hardest part of this is over. Internal uprising within the LA Times newsroom over racial inequality, including coverage of the BLM protest. When they're saying, the reporters are saying that they're pandering to, white people and showing us the worst part of the BLM, or I don't know why they would think black people, but my question is, how can you even call yourself a real reporter? A real reporter reports the news, the facts, with some corroboration, with some sources, with some evidence. The problem in the news today is that there aren't many reporters left who understand what real news is. They only understand the propaganda they've been taught. That's not being a newsman. That's being a shill, a political shill. Edward R. Murrow is rolling over in his graves at these idiots. Not your job to worry about who a story favors. It's your job to report the frickin' news. Leave it at that or get out. I mean, it's a moot point anyway, because all of these so-called news agencies are going to be bankrupt because, again, the LA Times, the New York Times, it doesn't make any difference. As we get through this and people see the role the media played in this, when they're supposed to be looking out for our best interest, they've sold us out and taken money from the CIA to spew the propaganda and the lies. They might be on that list of people who do not want to be walking the streets once the truth is out, the whole truth. Once the whole country and the whole world is red-pilled, there are a lot of people who are going to be real nervous about walking down the street. Because, think about this. You're a parent of one of those 800,000 children that have gone missing. And these are the people that have helped these monsters survive as long as they did. You don't think those parents might want to get their hands on you? Justice is going to be served in America. If they're lucky, it will be at the hands of the law and not the hands of the people. Because I don't think the people are going to be as forgiving. I know I'd probably have a hard time with it. One of my kids was one of those 800,000 a year that just disappeared. Um, most of them by the CIA, covered up by the FBI. That's all going to come out. The CIA was actually running breeding farms, breeding kids for child sex trafficking. The cute ones went into child sex trafficking. The homely ones they sold for body parts, organ harvesting. That's what our CIA has been doing, and our FBI. I think they both need to go. CIA for sure is done. I think the FBI needs to go too. Too corrupt. We don't need them. Our founders never wanted a national police force. We don't need it. Anything our founders didn't want needs to be chopped. Because all the other crap, all the other garbage, the Department of Education is a good example. We went over 100 years without a Department of Education. And in the 70s, Carter, I think it was, decided we needed to have one. All political bullshit. You know, hand out jobs to his cronies, right? The people who voted for him, supported him. That crap needs to end. Our government needs to be half the size or less than it is right now. Half of the employees of the federal government need to be fired. Are going to be fired, going to be let go, you know, going to get their pink slips. Because when the economy goes, it's going to be President Trump's excuse to chop all of them that we don't need. And most of them we don't need. Education is a state's job, although we are going to go to, I think, 100% online educational system. Will this end in tears? Cooperman says yes. This is Robin Hood. It's going to end in tears. All these, you know, day traders. I think these people who got unemployed and were trying to look for a way to make some money, and they're talking about how great the stock market is and blah, blah, blah. It's going to end bad because they got a lot of these clowns. They're pouring money into Hertz. Just one example. A bankrupt company. Unbelievable. I mean, what are you thinking? You got Litecoin, you got silver, even gold. But Hertz? Ay, what? Morons. Listen, anybody that's putting money in Hertz, you deserve to lose your money. I'm sorry. If you're that freaking stupid, you deserve what you get. The pandemic moonshot. Printing money until the cows come home. That's another Zero Hedge headline. QE until, this is mine, QE until infinity, or we hit hyperinflation. There's no printing money for infinity. You can't do it. Every single time it's been tried, and just so you understand, the problem is we have a fiat currency. It's not backed by anything. Since 1050 AD, first one was in China, fiat currency, there's been over 2,000 fiat currencies. Not one of them has survived. Not one. The average life expectancy of a fiat currency over that 1,000 years is 34 years, I think. We're at 49 years. And we're printing money like crazy. It leads to hyperinflation. You cannot overprint a fiat currency because it becomes worthless. Weimar Germany, Venezuela, Zimbabwe. Look at the pictures of people with wheelbarrows are taken to the grocery store to buy a loaf of bread. That's what happens when you overprint your currency, and we're dangerously close. That's why I keep saying, guys, it's a mathematical certainty. The economy can't survive. And we're $1 trillion a month we're doing right now. We're printing $1 trillion a month to keep this thing afloat. It took us over 230 years, I think, to get to the first 10 trillion deficit. Now we're adding $1 trillion a month. What do you think is going to happen? Hyperinflation. A reset or a collapse. It's coming one way or the other. The reset's a better way to go. We've talked about Nasara. I'm on the fence. I think it's 50-50. I don't care whether Nasara. I hope it does, but I've got Litecoin and silver. I don't need Nasara to happen to save me and my family financially. If you're not prepared, you're going to lose everything. Except for if Nasara happens, you might save your pension. You're going to save your house. This is over. Economy's done this year, before the election. It's not going to get to the election. Might not get to the end of next month. So get your Litecoin and silver. Get your money out of the bank. 401ks, whatever you can pull money out, get it out now. Get it into Litecoin and silver. Go to Coinbase for Litecoin, SD Bullion, JM Bullion for silver. All the links will be in the comment section. Anybody that needs any help with any of this, get a hold of Kevin Owens. His phone number is 702-325-9258. He can help you with getting set up on all this stuff. Okay, where am I here? Stock soar into green after Fed announces it will start buying a broad portfolio of corporate bonds. You know what that means? They're trying to do an end run on bailing out the corporations. So we're not going to just give you money. We're going to buy your worthless bonds and give you money. It doesn't make any difference. Do what you want. Buy the bonds, print the money. It doesn't. It's not going to stop. It's not going to help anything. This is over. Doesn't make any difference. Do whatever you want. Print money, don't print money. QE, no QE. It's done. We got to hope for two things: Nasara and a reset through Nasara, or President Trump just declares a reset. That's going to happen. There will be a reset declared, whether it's through Nasara or through President Trump. A reset is coming, which means all debt is wiped out. We start over from scratch. That's why President Trump's not worried about printing $1 trillion a month, because he knows we're never paying it back. It's like what businessmen do when they know they're going to declare bankruptcy. They run up the credit cards until they file. President Trump knows it's coming. The world knows it's coming. Get up to speed. Take advantage of this opportunity. This is the greatest financial opportunity in mankind's history. For the average guy, there has never been an opportunity like this before. There will never be an opportunity like this again. For a chance for somebody in the middle class to be a billionaire overnight. With thousands of dollars in investments. A Litecoin today is $44, somewhere in that range. Some analysts say $3 million a piece by 2024. In less than 4 years, it could be worth $3 million. 100 Litecoin, $300 million. 100 Litecoin you can get for whatever that works out to. Less than $5,000 probably. Why isn't everybody in the world buying Litecoin? Because they don't know. They don't know about it. And listen, cryptocurrencies are the future of money. Make banks obsolete. And trust me, in 6 months, no one's going to want to put a dime in the bank because they're all going to know the truth about what the banks have done. You know, about the trillions and trillions, tens of trillions that the banks have stolen from us over the last 100 years. All going to come out. Everything that's hidden will be known. It's a fact. It's happening. President Trump's going to tell the truth about everything. You know, maybe not this week, maybe not next month. Soon. Before he leaves office, for sure. Timing's got to be right. Okay. All right. What do we got for questions? And here's the thing, guys. Buy as much as you can. Buy as much physical silver and Litecoin as you can. Because remember, we're paying this forward. You know, we're going to take a portion of these proceeds and pay it forward to the foundation of God's church. The more you buy, the more you're going to be able to pay forward. Think of it that way. Chrissy, how you doing? Brian, what's up? Dennis, what's up? Barbara, hello. Randy, hello. There are bikers already in Seattle. I'm not sure how many more are headed that way. Barbara, Gary, what's up? People in the farmland own a lot of guns. They're making a big mistake to go out into the country, BLM and Antifa. They're not going to get the same reception they got in the cities. Randy went to the range with her son Saturday. Great job, Randy. Feels much more comfortable with her gun. Beautiful. Everybody needs to get out and shoot this week. Cecil, what's up? Roxanne, what's up? Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. A lot of these reporters knew exactly what they were doing. They knew what they were taking part in. And for those people conspiring to overthrow our government, you know what that is. A lot of these guys could be executed for treason. Well, you can't teach these guys how to be reporters. They're all done. She's teaching the American people what reporters should be is what she's doing. Because she's not wasting her time with these clowns. She's just making an example out of them. Paul, what's up? Yeah, nothing but lies on the TV news. Darren, what's up? Yeah, it's ending, guys. It's ending now. The pressure's been on them for almost a year now. Remember this. The second revolution started on July 4th of last year. I more and more believe that the 4th of July is going to be huge this year. Just look at the earthquakes on the 4th and the 5th of July at China Lake in California. Those were not earthquakes. Those were nuclear weapons being used on the deep state, deep underground bases. Yeah, and that's the thing, guys. As watchmen, the other thing we have to do, we have to calm people down. Explain to these people when you see it. There's nothing to fear. Felicia, how you doing? Well, I don't, well, how he did it, he sent in the Treasury and they just took it over. There's nothing to be confused about. The Treasury is now running the Federal Reserve. Yeah, gave a flag to the Floyd family. This guy's a felon. Rape. He raped a pregnant woman. Home invasion. Jesus. They make a hero out of the guy. I mean, what's wrong with the American people? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. You know, 75 years of dumbing down by the globalist agenda. You know, dumb the kids down. Don't let them know what their rights are. Don't let them know what the Constitution says. Shelly, how you doing? Bill, what's up? Yeah, President Trump 100% controls the Federal Reserve right now. So however you want to word the semantics, President Trump is running the Fed right now. And the Fed ends in President Trump's administration. Guaranteed. They owned the Fed. Listen, the Fed was not a part of the federal government. That was the problem. The biggest scam ever perpetrated on the American people was the Federal Reserve Act in 1913. Yeah, blast it, Dennis. Turn it up. Tessie, how you doing? Yeah, don't go anywhere without your gun. If you're in a city, stay inside as much as you can. Only 19 million Litecoin left, guys, on a planet of 7.8 billion people. Remember what happened to toilet paper. Same thing's going to happen to silver and Litecoin. Tessie said, just had a reserve get called out for a mission. Usually they have 12 hours. He had 1 hour to report. Things are moving, guys. Good, Tina and Randy. Yeah, for the people that are struggling, if you can get 5 Litecoin and 50 ounces of silver, you're in good shape. Um, get what you can get, but don't let the banks have it. It's every penny I have is invested in physical silver and Litecoin. 100% of my liquid assets. Hey, yeah, that's the thing, guys. When you get more, you're going to be able to help the family members who, for whatever reason, couldn't or didn't get prepared. Lena, how you doing? Mike's got a way for people to get $32 free in crypto through Coinbase. Yeah, check it out, guys. If you don't have to put anything up front, it's a good deal. No, he's not a hero. He's a con man. He's part of this whole scam. The guy's, I'm 80% sure, 90% sure this guy's still alive. It's just another one of their false flags. Carolyn, how you doing? Tessie, what's up? Zoe, come here. Well, I'm actually glad, guys, the way the phone's been acting up today. I'm glad that this is going so well tonight because I didn't know if we were going to get it done. Yeah, who knows what's going on with the internet and Zoe, come here. Yeah, Tina's hearing. I've heard this too. I've heard several people get on and say that they had this debt wiped out or that debt wiped out, and big debts too. I mean, like tens of thousands of dollars. So we'll see, guys. I hope it's true. Sister-in-law Heidi asking a great question. What happened to common sense? That's a good one, Heidi. It doesn't seem to be much of it around anymore. Tina, if you don't have debt, run up your cards. Physical silver and Litecoin. Tommy, how you doing? Darren, what's up? John, what's up? Yeah, the central banks are just the you know, the banks of the globalist. Central banking was designed to destroy countries. Yeah, there's definitely something going on, guys. With I'm hoping. Wouldn't this be cool? Turn everybody else off except for the Watchman. I'll do the news for the country for a couple of weeks, 10 days, whatever. I'm here for you, President Trump. Well, the banks have been. Becky's asking about the banks taking your money. The banks have been stealing us blind for over 100 years. It's all going to come out. Our whole monetary system was set up to screw us. Yeah, my girlfriend. Yeah, Zoe. Yeah, me and Zoe. Shelly's got buttered popcorn. I wish I had some buttered popcorn right now. Cody, what's up? No, she's just Zoe's crying because mom's on her way home from the grocery store. Her mom. Not a real mom. Yeah, don't pay off any debt that you don't have to right now, guys. Hang on to your money because it's a good chance in a month you might not have to pay it at all. I listen, it's going to happen. The reset's coming. There's no way around it. Arlene, how you doing? If you don't want to lose your savings, you got to get it out of the bank. You leave your listen. The the politicians gave the pen to the banks over 3 years ago now. They rewrote the laws. So our deposits are now considered loans to the bank, which means when they go belly up, when they go bankrupt, they don't have to pay us a dime. Then you think, well, I have FDIC insurance. Except when you dig into it, you find that in this scenario, based on the deposits today in America, they have enough money in those funds to pay 3 cents on the dollar. So what would you rather have? 3 cents on the dollar, or get your money out, put it into Litecoin, and get $3 million for every $50 you invest? What makes more sense? Anybody who hears this message and leaves their money in the bank deserves what they get. These warnings come from God. You ignore God's warning, you deserve what you get. It's that simple. Common sense is not common. That's right, Shelley, for sure. Uncommon, as a matter of fact, in today's world. Tanya, how you doing? I wouldn't pay taxes either. I didn't pay taxes. What you want to do is, don't close your accounts. I leave. On average, I've got maybe $200 in the bank. If I need to pay a bill, I've got I've got my Coinbase account, I've got my Ledger. I've got 90% of my coins on Ledger. I've got about probably 95 Litecoin on Coinbase. That's what I'm living on right now. That and my disability Social Security. If I have to pay a bill tomorrow, as long as I have Litecoin, the transaction done by 7:30 in the morning Pacific time, 7:30 a.m., the money from that transaction, if I sell some Litecoin off, will be in my account by 2:30 in the afternoon. Why do you have your money in the bank? Now you pay a transaction fee, but I'm okay paying the transaction fee, a couple of bucks, as opposed to losing everything, right? It's a no-brainer. Put it into Coinbase, into Litecoin. Sell it off if you need to pay the bills. Very simple. Your money's protected. That way, when the banks go belly up, you lose the $100 or $200 you had in there. The Litecoin is protected. You do want $500 to $1,000. Get it out of the bank now, because if this 10 days of darkness does hit, we're not sure what's going to happen with banks and everything else. So have the cash, as well as your silver and Litecoin. Get Litecoin at Coinbase.com. Again, the websites will be listed in the comments section of this video when I post it. So 10 minutes after the video, you can come back, just go into the comments section. It's Coinbase.com is the #1 site that we recommend. Gemini.com if you can't get an account open at Coinbase. If you've got a small bank, a lot of times Coinbase won't open an account for you. You get your silver from sdbullion.com or jmbullion.com. Those will all be listed in the comments section. If you need help with any of this, call Kevin Owens, 702-325-9258. It's that simple. If you're buying a car, finance as much as you can. Put as little down as you can. Because my bet is, within the next couple of months, you're going to own that car free and clear. And listen, guys, don't play into this race baiting. We don't have a racism problem in America. We've got a news media problem in America. That's what we have. You do not need to have the ledger to buy Litecoin. Buy the Litecoin first. Get the ledger later. Get it bought. Thanks, John. There are no Republicans left, guys. Most of them is sold out. They're globalist. Remember, it's not Democrat, Republican anymore. It's globalist patriot. And unfortunately, there are very few patriots left in the Republican Party. Julie, what's up? Yeah, the ledger's like a thumb drive. It's where you store your cryptos, your Litecoin. It just stays at Coinbase. Like I said, I've got 95 coins in Coinbase and all the rest are in my ledger. So you can split them up. Becky, how you doing? Don't worry, Becky. It's up to you to take care of the rest of your family. Buy a lot of Litecoin and silver. You're welcome, Roxanne. Thank you for all your support. And guys, Kevin can answer all of these questions for you. Again, 702-325-9258. Call Kevin. Oh, and that reminds me, we need volunteers. Anybody who has this kind of expertise, computer/cryptocurrency, please contact Kevin or me. Kevin is buried right now, as you can imagine. We need more help. For that and with firearms training, contact me right away, please. Ziggy wants to know why I like Litecoin. Well, Ziggy, God told me. That's why. God, and then after God told me, I have 25,000 hours worth of research in on all this stuff. And every hour of research I did on cryptocurrencies just reinforced that I was going to invest my money in Litecoin. Good example, Bitcoin, $12 million by 2024. It sounds awesome until you look at the price of Bitcoin. What is it, $7,000 or $8,000? How many Litecoin can you buy for that money? What cost you for one Bitcoin?
50 Bitcoins for $1 million.
Bitcoin is at 9,700.
Bitcoin's at 9,700 bucks. You can buy a lot of Litecoin. So you buy one for around 10,000, or you could buy probably 150 Litecoin at 3 million apiece. You don't buy Bitcoin, you buy Litecoin. Litecoin is probably the most versatile coin out there. It's faster than Bitcoin, a little less secure, but still 100 times more secure than your bank account. I believe Litecoin is going to deliver the biggest return on investment of any asset in history. It's the perfect storm for Litecoin to explode. And the same with silver, too. How you doing, Susie? Keep working on it, Cecil. Okay, guys, that's all the questions. I'm sticking with my time frame. Every day I'm seeing more that's pointing me to a big party on the 4th of July. If we're going to have 10 days of darkness, I think it happens between now and the 20th, 21st of this month is the start of it. The end will be around the 1st of July. Then we got a party on the 4th. And then I think if that goes down, that what's happened is the swamp has been drained. The huge majority of the top end of the American swamp has been drained. We'll see. You know, we're just a few weeks away, guys. It's happening. Keep pushing. Remember, every person matters. Every day matters. Let's get as many as we can. Let's push through to the end. I'm going to leave it there for tonight with our prayer for God and country. Amen. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.